Hiring stylists after COVID has been very challenging. No, Paul Mitchell doesn't have anything to do with any sort of the structure that we follow per month. I would probably say we have about 500 appointments per month. We're using salon transcripts right now.
Does it be the same 50% of confirmation in the voicemail, or it goes lower than that? This thing like that, or are you in some salon owners community in San Diego? So yeah, Henrik, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So Henrik, just to let me know about yourself and how you started this business, how long you're running this business. Just give me some sense about it.
Of course. Well, we've been in the business my wife's been in the business for 30 years. Her name's Liz Salcedo. She was a platform artist for John Paul Mitchell Systems for the first 12 years of her career. And then she decided, you know what, I'm going to open up my own salon. So we opened up Salon Ink. We're going on 20 years in September. So we're super proud of what we've built here. It's a beautiful salon. It's a hybrid salon where we have both W-2 employees and independent stylists. But we have an amazing assistant program where we have opportunities for growth, where we get the students out of school once they're licensed to implement them into our training program. And then we groom them to show them how to build a beautiful career behind the chair with lots of opportunities for growth, as I mentioned, where they can continue growing within the company, or if they want to venture off and become independent within our own company, or as many have done, left and built their own salons or went into suites, or however they wanted to grow within this industry.
So it's almost a decade, right? It's all a decade or 2 decades you're running the salon.
Say again?
It's almost a decade or 2 decades? It's almost 20 years, right?
Almost 20 years, yeah, 2 decades.
So yeah. So while you were starting this 2 decades back, how was the industry? Like, it might be very tough. It was very new to you. And how did you manage those problems? What were the problems you were facing initially? Just give me some idea about it.
Some as far as booking problems, or
just overall, the business overall. When you're setting up the business for the first time, there will be definitely lots of lot of struggles you'll be facing to come out of it. So how did you manage that?
Well, I mean, the industry's changed tremendously over the years. I've been with the salon for 13 years. So, and in those 13 years, the industry's changed dramatically. I know that when Liz first started, you would do appointments on actual pen and paper, and now everything's done and via software systems, and everything, technology has just recreated, not just our industry, but life. Now you have Instagram and social media and TikTok, and if you don't stay with the new trends, you're going to get left behind. There's something that we heard many years ago, and I'm not sure who said it, but they said you can't be a taxi cab driver in an Uber world. And that's always stuck to us, because you have to continue with the trends in order to be relevant. If not, you'll become a dinosaur and just be extinct.
Perfect. So after this long total changeover of the industry landscape, so in recent time, we came to know that there were some laws that are affecting the salons. So does it affect salons like yours, or how it is going? Is there any problem with the laws that are happening? Changes in the laws happen?
The laws?
Yeah, the California state laws.
Well, we've had a lot of different laws over the years. There was a point where we were able to have independent stylist with commission stylist. And then they took away the opportunity to where independent booth renters couldn't be part of a commission salon. So we had to separate the two entities. And then now, I guess, in California, you're not allowed to have commission stylist. You have to have either hourly or piece rate stylist. And then now you're able to have piece rate, hourly, however you're going to classify your W-2 employees. And then you can also have a hybrid salon as long as the independents and commission are completely separated. I'm sorry, I keep saying commission, but piece rate or hourly or however the W-2 are classified are completely separated individually, yes.
Okay. Does it affect your salons, or is it fine for you? Or when we spoke to certain salons, they said that because of this, they weren't able to hire the stylists. They were struggling with the hiring of stylists. Does it affect yours or something?
Hiring stylists after COVID has been very challenging.
Okay.
I feel that COVID has definitely added some wrinkles to the hiring process. I feel that a lot of stylists realized that, they decided they could possibly do hair, maybe not in salons, and they just started to do hair in other venues. Yeah. Maybe at home, or they decided, okay, maybe I'll just go do hair in suites, or they opted out of doing hair in salon, traditional way, so to speak. So yes, hiring has been a bit of a challenge. And then for us, we're very selective on who we hire because of the standards that we have here in our salon. So it has been very challenging after the COVID.
Exactly. Not just COVID. As you said about the salon trades, a couple of other salons said the same. They were facing trouble on managing people because of the suites and stuff getting more popular in the last couple of years. Has dramatically changed the landscape of hiring the stylist after COVID. Yeah, I totally get it. And about the Paul Mitchell, are you aggregated with Paul Mitchell, or how are you associated with Paul Mitchell, and how long you have been with Paul Mitchell?
Well, we've been with Paul Mitchell for 20 years. We're a Paul Mitchell focused salon, so we carry only Paul Mitchell, and we have a beautiful relationship with them. Like I said, my wife has been with them for 30 years. She was a global platform artist with them. So our dedication to them has been something that is very strong because we believe in the brand. The brand, again, I always say that you have to evolve, and they continuously are evolving to make not just great hair product for every demographic of client, but they're so good to the world. They're so eco-friendly. They're very mindful towards the hairdresser. So that's why we're so dedicated to Paul Mitchell.
Got it. So I need to know more about the association between Salon Ink and Paul Mitchell. Just think in a different way. If someone is starting a salon and they want to associate with Paul Mitchell, how does it work? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can reach out to Paul Mitchell, John Paul Mitchell Systems, and you can become a Paul Mitchell focused salon. And you could reach out to their corporate offices and just let them know you want to become a focus salon, and they'll get all the information. You could reach out to us directly, and we can lead you into the right path and get you to the people that'll help you.
Yeah, I have certain doubts in this. Does Paul Mitchell give you the structure how you have to maintain the salon, or products that you have to maintain the salon, or this way it works, or how does the brand associate?
No, Paul Mitchell doesn't have anything to do with any sort of the structure that we follow. We just sell their product exclusively, and that's how we are. We're exclusive Paul Mitchell here at house when it comes to retail and color product. We're exclusive Paul Mitchell.
Got it. So as you already said, the evolution of the industry since you started. You have started with pen and paper booking system, and now you have changed to digitalization. How long it has been after changing digitalization? Before you have been using the pen and paper system for managing the appointments. When did you change this from pen and paper to software?
God, I would probably say, I mean, pen and paper, that was back in the early 90s, I'm thinking late 90s. I remember seeing that. And then I've always used computers, since I've been here. That was 13 years ago, 14 years ago. And again, it's the software system has always evolved into something new every year. There's just like Apple, there's always a new update, so to speak, with Apple. So it's always evolving. So, that's something that we have to continue to
roughly we can assume that in early 2000s you shifted to the software system and you are still seeking the same software that you started with, right?
That's correct. We're using Salon transcripts right now. STX is the software system that we use. It's very salon friendly. We understand all the reports. They give us everything that we need for when it comes to KPIs. We understand the metrics when it comes to, what we're reading when we do our reviews, and it works very well for our business.
Okay, got it. So in the sense of KPI, like every stylist will have their KPI, and you can easily score them like who is doing the best, who is doing great.
Yes, it does. The system that we have, it has a way to let us break down where the stylists are with service totals and uh, color totals and balayage and certain services, haircuts. It would retail. It lets us know what retail items are selling best, and it breaks it down for it.
No, pretty well. How about the inventory? Does it manage the inventory as well?
It does manage inventory. It tells us the pars that we should be ordering. It keeps us on budget. It does a whole lot of everything for us.
I'll say how frequently they update their product. They give you a frequent update or a yearly ones, or how does it work?
As far as the STX software goes, it's a random update. Usually they're compatible with Mac because we use MacBooks here. And usually with the Mac updates, that's when STX will update.
Okay, got it. So let's get into the details. Like, since you have been running this salon, let's assume for the last 1 year, how was the appointments going? Like, how much appointments you get in average per month?
Appointments in the salon per month, I would probably say we have about 500 appointments per month.
At an average, 500 appointments.
Yeah, about 500 per month because we have 12 stylists, and that's probably about what we average per month. Between 5 to 700.
How do you get those appointments? Is it just over the call, or do you have website booking or Instagram booking? How does it work?
Well, we've accustomed again. We've got a very good reputation. We have very good systems here. We're a salon that has implemented lots of systems over the years. We believe in pre-booking. We believe in client retention. We also believe in our Yelp pages, our Instagram page, our social media presence. We do a lot of personal marketing in that aspect to where it helps us create a lot of buzz in our local communities. So we have our stylist with a game plan to make sure that they're constantly promoting, and that's the way that we are constantly working the business.
Got it. So I just want to know also about the journey of the customer from day one. Like they are taking a haircut. How does the journey you manage? Like you will be sending some marketing campaigns. How does it work? And next time, how do you bring them in? How do they reach you out? Can you tell me this journey of the customer from one appointment to the next appointment or new appointment, something like that?
So let's say a customer's never been to the salon. Let's say a client calls. We will obviously answer the phone. We have a way that we answer the phone. We'll ask them how they heard of the salon. Sometimes they'll say they found us on Yelp, they found us on Google, they found us through our Instagram page. We have a button on our program that'll tell us, okay, this is how they found us. So that's the first way. We set their appointment up. We'll make sure that we take a deposit down so that we secure that their time is going to be our stylist time and the salon's time is protected. That appointment time is secured with that deposit. As soon as they come in, we're going to greet them. We're going to show them, give them a tour. First-time clients are really impressed with our beautiful space here. And then they get this wonderful experience. We always say it's not just a haircut or a color. It's a salon experience when you come to the salon. So we love to say you can, get a nice steak dinner at Outback. Why do they charge $25 at Outback Steakhouse, but that same steak costs $75 at Ruth Chris? It's because of the experience, right? So we always say that it's the experience that you have is the difference.
This is for the new people getting into the salon. So how about the same person getting into your salon again? Like, do you follow up them? How do you follow up them? Like, you might be doing mail campaigns or message campaigns to bring them back in again for another appointment. apps, or you might be calling them, or they might be calling you. How does it work?
So normally what will happen is when the clients come in, their initial visit, they come in and the appointments are typically lasting anywhere between an hour and 15 minutes for a haircut or 3 hours plus for a color service. So when that happens, our stylists understand that it's their job to talk about pre-booking their next visit, but we're already talking about the next time we want them to come back in. So at checkout, we already have that seed planted on. You know what? We would love to see you back in 6, 8, 10 weeks. Those are the time frames that we want to have them back in. So we try and pre-book those appointments before that client leaves their appointment. That's the goal. A lot of stylists, a lot of salons pay a commission scale or a piece rate scale on numbers, and we don't do it that way. We do it on a retention scale, and then that's how we pay our piece rate out.
Here. So how many calls you get in a day for appointments? Roughly how many phone calls you get in a day for booking appointment?
On an average day, it just depends on the day. Typically, the front part of the week we're open Tuesday through Saturday. So typically on Tuesdays we'll get about maybe anywhere between 25 to maybe 40 calls a day, and then Wednesdays probably about the same. And then throughout the week, we will probably get between 25 to 30 calls.
Okay.
Throughout the week per appointment, and then over the weekend we'll get messages, to book appointments.
Got it. So in this appointment calls, like roughly we can take 30 calls a day. So in 30 calls, how many gets into appointment? How many gets not into appointment? How many does convert into appointment? How many does not convert into appointment? Roughly a percentage.
How many actually confirm appointment?
Yeah.
I would probably say 50%.
60%.
Yeah, I would say 50% of those actually become appointments or actually are into the salon.
Got it. So yeah. So roughly having Pearl stylist in your salon and doing this great job, how much do you do your expense per month? What is the rough expense that you could put on, like this much I spend on this salon, like even including electricity, water, the beverages you give, and also the stylist that you have, the salaries and everything included. What is the total expense that you make a month?
Our expense a month, that it costs a lot to run a nice salon.
We don't want to discuss, no issue.
Yeah, that display it costs a lot to run a nice salon. So and typically for owners of a salon, the profit is not very high. The margins don't tend to be super high. So we're very fortunate that we're in a position where over the years we've had higher percentages. So because we've built a very nice business here.
You have almost answered the next question as well. Like, what is their profit? What is the revenue?
Yeah.
Also, yeah, you just answered it all together.
That's perfect.
That's perfect. So, yeah, do you get the appointment calls even after working hours? How do you manage those calls? Like, even like after 8 o'clock in the night, who does manage those calls?
So after our appointments, we have a voicemail that clients leave their voicemail messages on. We also have a text message attached to our voicemail so clients can text, and we answer those when we see them in the morning when we go.
So, this cycle will be like whenever you get a call in the night, voicemail will be added their messages, and you'll be next thing morning, you'll be getting into the salon, you'll be just checking those mails and reverting back them.
Correct. And if a client leaves a voicemail, it pops up on our email.
Okay.
So it's automatically comes up on our email, so we know that a client left a message.
Perfect. So just for the sake of understanding, I want to know, in the normal calls, you get 50% of the appointments getting converted. On voicemails, how many percent you get converted? Because at times when they call to a salon, if it is getting into voicemail, they tend to cut it and tend to book another appointment in another salon, right? So I'm just trying to understand that stats. So does it be the same 50% of confirmation in the voicemail, or it goes lower than that?
I would probably say when we reach back to clients, it's probably about the same, about 50%, because normally when they call, they want to get in to set up an appointment.
So it's pretty much similar to the normal call.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to the normal calls. Yeah.
So do you have a receptionist?
We have a salon director.
The founders or you people manage it by yourself?
Yes. She manages the salon, and she runs the entire salon, and part of her role is to answer phones, make sure clients are directed properly. The stylist runs smoothly. So yes.
Perfect. So yeah, you told about the salon transcript software, right? How did you got into the salon transcript software? Like, did you reach out to them or did they reach out to you? How did it started?
I believe that was the program that my wife was using at the old salon that she was at.
Okay.
And that was just something that she was comfortable with when she opened the salon. So I believe that's how it transitioned.
Okay. Did people reach out to you for asking to use some other software? How it went? Like probably that there would be a chances like other companies trying to come and tell them, right? How does it go? Didn't work out for you, or do you still believe transcript works well and we don't want anything else? We have any problems? You can just point out certain problems like these are all the problems. Maybe we can figure out, and we are just trying to understand, right?
Sure.
So what are the problems that you face in a salon transcript?
We have had many companies try and solicit us to change to their software system, but we've never switched over because, and we're not opposed to change. We are all about change. And salon transcripts doesn't mean that they're the best out there, because we don't know, right? But our compatibility has always been with Mac computers, and a lot of the other software companies haven't been compatible with Macs.
Okay.
And then we have about 30,000 clients in our database with salon transcripts. And a lot of those companies have not been able to transfer over that many clients to their database. They could only go back 2 or 3 years. So that's a no-brainer for us. We need to make sure that all of the clients are able to be transferred before we make any sort of switch.
Okay, that's perfect. So you are ready to switch, but there is no system ready for your grade. Like it should be compatible for Mac, and it should be able to grasp all the details in the user database from the existing system to the new system, and it should be able to run perfectly for all your needs.
Correct. That's absolutely correct.
I also want to know this thing. Like, are you in some salon owners community in San Diego?
We have been a part of a lot of different salon communities, and I do feel like my wife and I we can get a group of owners together. And during COVID, we were part of a big group of salon owners, and we are viewed as, I'm going to say, leaders in our industry because we have been doing it for so long. So yeah, I think we do have.
Perfect. So what we thought was we can also help the community, because when I spoke with certain salons, they were not really doing good. They are actually struggling to survive the current situation. They weren't able to run the salon. They are selling out the salon. So what we thought was like, why don't we pick up certain salons who are really doing good, like yours? And also, I had someone in Rancho Bernardo and Poway, sort of bringing all together and helping these salons to survive. How to do it? Maybe in the hiring stuffs. How to maybe shine stylists, maybe for the community, just for this community, not non-profit. I thought of bringing up something like this. Will you be ready to contribute to the community?
Absolutely. I mean, trust me, we're at the same time. I mean, we also have struggles. We also have challenges. I mean, we have challenges every single day. If I were to sit here and say, oh, our salon's doing amazing every day, and no, I would not be telling the truth. The one thing is, we are very transparent. We do struggle, and we do have challenges. Every day is a challenge, but in this industry, you have to overcome those challenges. Just like in life, you have to continue to move forward to get to that next goal or that next step. So yeah, I would be, and I know that my wife and I would definitely be willing to help any other salons advance, and because this industry has so much to offer. And I think what you're doing is going to be amazing. And
Thank you so much for your time, and
of course,
thank you.
like, it's my pleasure.